All right. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Week 2 of the podcast. Special guest, Neighbor John. Say what's up.
Hey, what's up?
So, do you want to do your stuff first, or do you want to do all the fab and the matchups? And
First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to the Awkward Tyler podcast.
yeah, and he's in the studio. In the studio, I mean a room in my house full of junk, clothes, and computers.
Yeah.
So, no problem. So do you want to do your stuff first, or do you want to do...
We can bounce back and forth.
Okay.
I'll start off, I guess.
Open it up.
I'll open it up with a big hot take here, and that's that Ben just needs to calm the fuck down
Whoa. Shots fired.
when it comes to talking about the Dallas defense and special teams. Case in point, and I'm just going to throw this out there, their schedule, if you look at it for the year, is probably one of the easiest schedules in football right now. First of all, they're in the NFC East, which geographically makes zero fucking sense. Okay?
That's a whole nother discussion.
That's a whole nother discussion, and we'll cover that the next time I'm on. But they have, by far, one of the easiest schedules in football this year. Okay?
I would maybe disagree with that. I mean, it looks kind of... There's some matchups on there that look like they would be some losses if I had to pick.
Okay, I realize that you have to lay in bed next to Tiffany every night, so you have to make her happy.
She's switching to Bengals.
Oh, shit.
She's still a Cowboys fan, but, I mean, I think they lose to Buffalo.
They lose to Buffalo. Chances are they're probably going to have another blowout against the Giants, probably Carolina, because their offensive line just folds like a lawn chair.
Yeah.
And then everywhere else that you're looking, Philadelphia, they're not going to...
They lose one or two or both of those games to Philadelphia. They always do.
They're going to... I say they're going to lose both, okay? But Chargers, I think they're going to break the Chargers offense. I really do. I think they're going to have a tough time against San Francisco.
I would say I think San Francisco's a loss.
San Francisco, we're going to call that a loss. Arizona, that's a toss-up. That's a 50-50 in my opinion. But right now, Arizona, yeah.
That's hot takey.
So, New England, obviously, not a chance that New England's going to be able to... Micah Parsons is just a god.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a god in that game. But just let me continue.
Okay.
Against New York, New York only logged 70 snaps. Okay? Which means that they had a longer possession than Dallas. They had more time on possession, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but they had more time on possession. All right? Saquon Barkley, 12 carries, 4 targets. Dallas, as a team, recorded 7 sacks, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 2 touchdowns, a blocked kick, and allowed for 0 points. Yeah, I did my homework.
He's got this all written down.
Yeah. I am not the lexicon of football that Brett Aweg is. So my take on the Giants game was that Saquon was not allowed to break through the line. And that's because of just poor planning week 1. All right?
Yeah.
New York Jets. Let's talk about the New York Jets because this is really where I did my homework, okay? New York Jets, no Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he was there for like 8 seconds.
Not in the Cowboys game.
Oh, yeah, that was week 1.
Yeah.
You're right.
Week 2.
You're right.
Week 2.
You're right.
No Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson, 12 for 27. All right? For 170 yards with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. All right? The guy's trash. All right, let's just call it what it is. A
Yeah.
duck is a duck.
Yeah.
He's trash. All right. He had in that game the most yards per carry as the quarterback. Had the most yards per carry. Brees Hall was not really in the picture that game.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really.
All right. Dallas got 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and allowed 10 points. Aaron Rodgers in that game, Brees Hall in that game. Dallas is not winning that game. Dallas. Let me rephrase that. Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back.
Okay.
Dallas defense is not scoring as many points fantasy wise.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Okay.
The Jets will score more than 10 points.
So again, let's look at their schedule. They're playing the Panthers, the Patriots, the Giants, and then there's a lot of 50-50 games, right? There's not a lot. We're not talking about the 2007 Chicago Bears, right? Where their team won solely based off their defense.
Right.
So, again, hot take, Ben, simmer down.
Well, he's probably gonna argue that that's why he drafted them, is because their schedule is like so amazing and they don't.
Well, I mean, props to Ben if he saw value in a team that's playing all this to his advantage. Like, props to you, Ben, but still.
Not in the 11th round.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's 2-1, Ben. So. All right.
So.
Anyway.
And then I've got some more trash talk against Ben, but I'll save that for when we get to the.
Okay.
I think we all know where this is going. It's retribution.
All right. So, I guess first off, let's just go over the matchups from last week. I beat Matt, not by a large margin.
Wait, you're 2-0?
I'm 2-0.
It's bizarre world.
Yeah, hell is freezing over. Everybody collect the doomsday device. It's happening. I'm 2-0. Granted, half his fucking team didn't show up. Which granted, the Kadarius Toney start, I can't believe he had the balls to do that.
Yeah.
He got 8 points, but Gus Edwards and ETN, he benched Brian Robinson. That was not a good move. So, I just had a good week, and he kind of had a rough one. That's kind of what I'm chalking that up to. You had a victory, so you're on the board.
Yes. I think my golden boy, my $50 purchase, had returns on investment.
Kind of sort of paid off with the 15 for 147.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's not bad. Mahomes had a decent game. Big time Bex on the other side. His team, other than Mike Evans, you got to admit it was just a rough.
Yeah, that was a rough start.
I mean, he's got question mark at the Deshaun Watson thing. He needs to find another quarterback. I don't know if he picked one up or not.
I believe he picked up Kirk Cousins.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah. The Bengals are in a whole nother issue.
The Bengals are hurting right now.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley, which Jaguars wide receiver is it going to be this week? Josh Jacobs had a down week. Jahmyr Gibbs looking better now. Kyle Pitts. What are your thoughts? Me and Ben talked a lot about Kyle Pitts last week. What are your thoughts on Kyle Pitts? Going into the draft and now.
So I was actually talking with Ryan Berdewig about this earlier, and I think that what makes a lot of sense is for Atlanta to start running the run-pass option.
Yeah.
I think they're unutilizing their slot. I think they're unutilizing their tight end to their advantage. I think they're trying to rely too much on their backfield. And I think that, honestly, if they start running the run-pass option, they'll probably... I'm not saying they're going to win a championship.
Right.
I'm not even saying they're going to make the playoffs, but they might have a winning season. I'm not...
They're 2-0.
But I'm not a big Desmond Ridder fan.
Yeah.
I don't think he's proved himself.
Well, that's a really weak division. So if they keep,
we could talk about the NFC being jacked up geographically all day long, but
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
I guess.
So yeah, how the $30 Josh Downs do though?
Oh, I benched him. If you want me to talk about that now, I'll talk about that now. I figured we'd talk about it maybe, a little bit later.
We'll circle back.
No, I tell you what, we're already on the topic. Let's talk about it right now. All right. $30 Josh Downs.
What happened? Walk us through it.
So it's late at night, stressed out, got a lot of stuff going on at work, everything going down. I took a screenshot, sent it to Ryan Bredeweg, and went to sleep. Next morning, I get up, everyone's giving me crap, and I'm like, why is everyone giving me crap? It wasn't until I listened to the podcast that I realized that I had bid 30. 3-0. 3 followed by a 0. $30. Not 3. $30 on Josh Downs.
Sorry.
Which, you know what? I made a mistake. I'll own it. Doesn't leave me in a good position for the rest of the year, but I'm not the worst off when it comes to fab for the rest of the year, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah, well, that's true, but the Puka thing we gave you a little bit of shit for, and
hey, that paid off.
Kind of eating our words now. I don't think you're ever gonna live down. Josh Downs has just been a topic of this year for some reason. Tim tried so hard to draft him.
Which, Tim, you need to change your name, by the way, your team name. Or you could change your name, too. We'll start calling you, like, Tom or something.
No, well, we're not going to mention Toms in this league. But anyway, Tim tried to draft him so hard. You guys let him off the hook of it. And then now one of the higher fab bids goes for him. And
I meant to get him for 3. I meant to get him for 3. I ended up doing 30. And like I said, my mistake. I should have looked and double-checked and triple-checked. But I'll own up to it. I'll use it. And again, I didn't think I spent any fab last year. You said I might have spent like $10 or something like that, but
I don't remember.
I didn't think I spent any fab. This was like the first year that I really ever used fab. So
and 30% of it was complete and utter accident.
Yes.
Nice. Learning slowly but surely, right?
Yes. Now the reason that I wanted to go for Josh Downs, Anthony Richardson is still hesitating throwing the ball downfield.
Yeah.
He's a rookie quarterback, and statistically, rookie quarterbacks rely heavily on their tight ends and their slot receivers.
Yeah.
And Josh Downs is going to be the starting slot receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. So as Richardson, once he's back from protocol, gets more comfortable, hopefully he'll start utilizing Downs more. Now, is he going to continue to use Downs? No, I hope not. As a Colts fan, I hope not.
Right.
But as a fantasy football manager, yeah, absolutely, I want him to use Downs. But
well, we don't have a decent tight end anymore, so
yeah.
I mean, we have I don't remember his grades.
I miss Dallas Clark.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I even miss fucking Mo Alley Cox at this point. At least he was a big body, but all right. So you got the win of that matchup. Ben beat Kim. Some studs and duds here. Both the Jets stand out pretty well. The 0.2 from Dalvin and 0.9 from Brees. That was crazy to see and look at.
But can we just talk real quick?
Yeah.
About the points that he left on the bench.
Mm-hmm. Quite a bit.
Geno Smith, which anybody who was watching football this weekend, that was the highlight of football, was when the ref said, "Hey, I'm talking to America." That's right, you are.
I can't sit other than maybe the Kyron Williams decision.
Well, so Kyron Williams was a very, very was it going to be a Cam Akers or a Kyron Rose? Like, I get that. I understand why you would leave him on your bench because when you got Cam Akers in the backfield, you obviously expect that he's going to get more carries than Kyron Williams. However, now that Cam Akers, I believe, is going to the Vikings.
Yeah, he's got traded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
confirmed.
So now Kyron Williams is going to be seeing a lot more carries. So
no,
I fully expect to see him in Ben's lineup next week.
Yeah, and
so
I was just going to say I would have started Kyron Williams over Zach Moss personally, but it still kind of paid off. It's only an 8-point differential. It didn't hurt him. Obviously, he still won, but
yeah.
I mean, I just now seen that he started Romeo Dubs over all those players. I probably would have started just about anybody over him.
But hey, he still got the win, so
right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Kim's team, is now plagued with injuries. We'll get to that in a moment. It keeps changing me back to week 3. So, Bredeweg and Tim was a closer matchup.
It was.
Yeah. Bredeweg comes away with the victory. He's 2-0. Tim's 0-2. Tim left a couple of points on the bench here, but nothing that I probably wouldn't have done if I was him either. Tyler Algier was a little bit of a ballsy move, but I mean, I get why you do it. You don't have a whole lot of other options. Been holding on to Kareem Hunt, and that has now worked out because Kareem Hunt signed back with the Browns today. Don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
So, again, we'll get into that with the Fab discussion in a little bit. Ryan had a pretty good week.
I mean, it makes sense that they re-signed Hunt.
Right.
I don't know if it's worth $74, but we'll get into that later.
And one of the funniest team names, Big Cock Hawk, beat Tiffany. Tiff had kind of a up and down week. Some people that you would expect to perform didn't, and people that you didn't expect to actually did.
Yeah, dude, Nick Chubb going down the way he did. Like, nobody wants to see that.
I'm so sad. I wanted Nick Chubb. I tried trading Lance, I think twice after the draft for Nick Chubb, and I was just like, I'm going to set on it. I'm going to wait till he has like maybe a bad week or something, and then I'm going to pounce. Well, pour one out for our boy.
Yeah.
That one of my favorite players in the league, regardless of team.
Nobody's knee needs to bend like that.
No, that was
brutal. That was very brutal.
When I watched that play at first, when they showed it on the broadcast, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why is he down still? Like, that's it looked like a stinger or something." And then I saw it from the complete other side, and I was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, it's brutal, and you don't ever want to see anybody. You don't want to ever see anybody go through that. But yeah. Let's talk about points on the bench, dude. Nico Collins going ham.
Dang it. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
27.
27.6.
146 yards.
Yeah.
Nico Collins. I actually think that Chubb and Nico Collins was one of the packages I was trying to get. Nico Collins, he's the only receiver that they have on Houston.
And let's be very clear. Bryce Young is still, not Bryce Young. C.J. Stroud,
yeah,
still not well rounded.
He's looking better.
He's looking better, but still, not completely pro caliber. I would say he's halfway between college and pro.
Well, it also makes it worse when you're on the Texans. It doesn't help anything.
Yeah,
what's he really got to work with? Not a whole lot.
No.
All right. So let's look at the Fab offers from this week. This is the first time you're going to see what the other offers for the big purchase of the week, Jerome Ford, was.
Oh, man.
You only put in $8.
It's kind of, I only had 18 to play with, so.
So, Ben got him for a whopping 74, which, I don't know if you knew this, was all of it.
Yeah.
That's all he had left.
Yeah, I actually, I don't have a screen share because, I'm not one of the cool kids, but I actually have a little thing that I like to call Lifestyles of the Rich and Fabulous.
All right, hold on. I'll play the music.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So.
There we go.
All right. So I'm breaking this down as an overall thing to the date, to today, okay? I don't know why I stuttered. So basically looking at everything, and I'll kind of turn this so that you can look at it. Right now, for the season so far, Ryan Bredeweg has spent $12 in Fab. Okay? You got Mims Jr., Shaheed, and Tutu Atwell. So, just doing a little analysis. If anybody's wanting to hit the trade block, it looks like Ryan is definitely in the market for wide receivers.
This is some fucking in-depth analysis
Yeah.
shit. I didn't even come this prepared.
Yeah. Necessary Roughness, aka Tyler. You've spent 6 for the season. Yeah. You got Breda and you got the Jacksonville defense and special teams.
Yep.
Um,
Both this week.
Yeah. Big Cock has spent zilch.
Not for lack of trying, I'll give him that.
Nah, not for lack of trying, but maybe you should spend a little bit more like you're at the strip club.
Yeah, I really thought that he was going to go after Jerome Ford with everything that he had.
I've got another hot take on Jerome Ford, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Smokey the Bear, aka Big Money Ben. He's capped out.
Yeah.
He got Williams for 16.
That's a steal, though.
I'm not
Yeah,
hating. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
hating on it. Not hating on it. I'm putting out facts. Romeo Dobbs for $9. I would say is also pretty decent.
Eh,
Pretty decent.
I'm a little less on that.
I didn't say it was great. I said it's pretty decent. Moss for $1. Okay. I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah.
Jerome Ford, $74. Here's number one. Here's my issue with that. Ben has a lot of points on the bench,
Yeah.
so he didn't need Jerome Ford. It wasn't a necessity for him.
Yeah.
When I went after Puka Nacua, and not trying to say that,
Oh, this is the show where you sit there and you
Oh,
shit on everyone else
okay.
and say that you're right and everyone else is wrong. That's what this is.
I've also been married for 6 years, so sometimes I know my place. But in this instance, I strongly feel like Ben stretched. He overstretched on Jerome Ford. Ben, you've got the points on the bench to cover Jerome Ford. Number two, Kareem Hunt just now getting signed. He's gonna split carries with Kareem Hunt. You didn't have Nick Chubb. In my position when I got Nacua, I had Cooper Kupp on the IR.
Well,
And I drafted Nacua as a wide receiver 1 essentially.
I am in the camp where I agree. I knew that my $37 bid was not going to get Jerome Ford, and I did not bid that much because I was never going to start Jerome Ford over any of my other options.
No.
So, but at the same time, I thought about it because I'm playing Kim this week, who's hurting at running back, and I thought I would like to play keep away. I think that's mostly what he was doing, was playing keep away.
Yeah, that's an expensive keep away.
Well, but because I asked him why he spent so much over text messages, spoiler alert, and he basically told me that
Show me the receipts.
I'd have to look for him. But basically, he told me, which isn't untrue, that the first 3, 4, 5 weeks are the players that you want to spend the money on. The rest of it is usually how it goes. Usually, your defenses and this, that, bye week fill-ins and stuff.
Can you pull up Jerome Ford's stats for week 1? Just week 1.
Game log.
Okay. So, where's that fumble?
Right there.
Yes, in the end zone. The most important place. Fumbles it in the end zone.
I did not see that.
So, I'm not. Yes, did he have a great game Monday night? Absolutely. Hands down, had a great game. But he did not have a great game week 1. Now, he didn't get nearly as many carries.
Well, he got 15 the first week and 16 the second week.
I'm fucking old. I can't see your computer from here. But
So he got just as much production week 2.
What was his yards per carry average?
6.6 week 2, 2.4 week 1.
I mean, the fumble recovery in the end zone was the big thing for me. That's why I felt, even though I had $18 at my disposal, I didn't blow my load. I mean, did I think I had an honest chance? Absolutely not. But still, I felt like if I got him for $8, maybe there's value.
Right. That's why I put in my 37. You got to at least try.
Yeah. You don't. What is the saying? You don't hit when you don't take the shot or something like that.
Yeah. Somebody said something earlier.
All right, so let's move on. All right, I've been on Ben's nuts for long enough. So let's talk about Tiffany. She's spent 0. So Good for her. Matt.
Wish you could do that in real life, but okay.
Matt, $10 for Reynolds.
Which, a little bit of an underrated pickup, in my opinion.
I agree. Puka Nacua, now we're going on to me, RoboCup. Puka Nacua, $50. Could I have gotten him cheaper? Yes, but I felt like $50 for what he was doing week one and what he was representing for my team regarding replacing Cup in my lineup. I'm hoping that when he comes back, we're going to have, instead of a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, see more of a wide receiver 1A and a wide receiver 1B, maybe.
And
maybe continue production. Maybe not 30 points continue production, but if they each log 20 points a game, I'm happy.
Yeah. And I've been proven wrong. He is that talented to where I think when Cooper Kupp does come back, that he can still be just as involved as he is now. He's obviously not going to get such gaudy numbers because Kupp's Kupp.
Yeah,
but
Kupp. When you pay Kupp the money that you're paying Kupp, he's going to demand the targets.
Right.
I get that, but hopefully they can go 1A, 1B, and like I said, Nacua got close to 30 points this week. I obviously know when Kupp comes back, that's going to go down. But if each of them got 20 points,
yeah,
that's a win in my book. So I spent $30 on Josh Downs. We won't talk about that anymore. And
but
then,
I would love to.
Oh fuck! We have limited time. I was told we had a time limit.
It's fine. We'll continue.
And then I got Justice Hill, $2 pickup. I think he's still got a little bit more polishing to do, but I think before the season's out, we're going to see some good things from him. Can't Slow Me Downs, Tim. Again, Tim, might want to change your names to I Need a Defense, because let's look at Algier with the $6. He got the $6 pickup on Algier. And then, Tim, you have picked up the Washington defense for $2. And you've picked up the Cleveland defense and special teams for $3. Now, you're throwing away $5. I'm not getting on to you for that, man. But, you got to find a defense. And I think you might be onto something with a name there.
He's streaming the defense. I don't blame him for that Washington in week one. I almost drafted him just because I thought they had a really good week one.
Maybe he could change his name to, Sucks the D or something like that.
That fits right along with Tim, though.
Becker, COVID quarantine, $10. He got Kelly. He picked up Kirk Cousins this week, and he picked up Sky Moore. Sky Moore, we're starting to see a little bit more production with him. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Kadarius Toney's not everything that everybody has made him out to be, so obviously I think that's a good pickup for $2 with Sky Moore. I think you could have gotten him for less. I don't think anybody else probably bid on Sky Moore. We could take a look at the receipts, but I think $2 for Sky Moore is probably a good ad.
Son of a bitch, where is it? Sky Moore. Lance bid 0.
Oh.
So.
Lance, sometimes you got to spend money to make money, my friend.
He's holding it.
He's holding it.
Hold them, or he knows when to hold them and fold them.
And then we're going to end off with Kim.
I want to talk about this a little bit after you're done.
Picking up Spears for $7. And I'm going to say that nobody else probably bid.
Lance with the 0.
Lance with a 0. Again, spend money to make money, friend.
I want to. I haven't bashed Kim yet this year, and I want to bash her right here. Why? Okay, you want to bid $7 on a backup running back for Tennessee that is actually getting a little bit of work, fine. But I don't know if you've seen her team. Her team is hurting at running back because of these injuries.
She's bleeding.
So Saquon is out, already confirmed.
Yeah.
So David Montgomery, he got hurt last week. He's probably not going to play. You got Dalvin Cook, who, as you saw last week...
He's not producing the numbers, especially because Carter not producing numbers. You've got Breece Hall, who's going to be their number 1 running back. He should be coming back. He was limited practice, I think, last I saw. Should be coming back this week. So Dalvin Cook, not going to get the touches, not going to get the yards per carry. I don't see him being a producer unless something happens on the depth chart in front of him.
Or he just, at least for this week, just breaks off something huge. Because, he's still talented, but...
He's talented, but I don't think that he carries value. and that's my theme for this season is value is Moneyball more or less.
Right. And then she has DeAndre Swift, who I do not believe in DeAndre Swift. Even after last week, 25 points he put up last week. I don't believe. I'm not a believer. It's the whole Eagles backfield to me is the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core. Every single week, somebody else is going to do it. And if you sit there and just put them in your lineup for 4 weeks, 3 out of the 4 weeks you're going to be very much disappointed. Yeah, you're going to hit that 1 week, but it's going to end up costing your team. So, that being said, why do you bid $7 on Tajay Spears and not bid at least more than... I mean, I guess she was the third highest. She bid 60. All right. I didn't know she bid 60.
And if I'm just gonna say this, if he bid 61, then there was some discussion in the
Johnson household.
In the Johnson household that night.
Yeah. We're gonna pretend like we haven't had that conversation 20,000 times.
Kim was probably like, I think I'm gonna put $60 on.
And then
Jerome
Tim's
Ford.
with the sneaky.
Tim's like, I gotta go take a shit. Let me go pull my phone up while I put in this $61 offer.
I don't want to put in that big C word, but I think the
collusion.
Yeah, I think we can start maybe hinting at it. But so yeah, that's fine. You bid what you thought. I didn't see that you bid 60. I thought you were down here at the 12. I apologize for that.
When he says you, he's talking to you, Kim. He's not talking to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm spending poor boy money over here because I made a mistake.
But Saquon's out, so Matt Breida's the backup. I got him for $4. I put a $4 bid in to do the keep away game. If you don't believe in Matt Breida, that's fine. But you didn't put a bid in on any other running back other than Jerome Ford. You put all your eggs in the basket of I'm getting Jerome Ford, and it failed, and now you're fucked. So you either have to make a trade or lose to me this week. I'm fine with her losing to me, but I don't know why you don't, Tajay Spears is not the answer.
I mean, I think she owes you one. You took her daughter off their hands, so.
If anything, they put her on me. But anyway. All right. So, we're just real quick. You guys can see the fab offers.
And again, I guess I'm going to jump back on Ben's nuts here, but Ben, you didn't need Jerome Ford. I mean, you have points on the bench.
What's this team looking like?
I don't know. I mean, he's got Breece Hall, which again, possibly going to be playing this week. He limited practice. Let's see, as far as running back goes, but I mean, running backs. He's got 2 in flex right now.
Yeah,
it's a full PPR league, so I mean, why are we putting running backs in the flex? I would figure that wide receivers would.
I mean, if Kyron Williams is going to get 26 points or, even 15 points a week, I mean, that's flex worthy. That's better than some wide receivers do. I'll give him that much. Now, I'm assuming if Breece Hall is healthy, he's going to switch something out.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I don't think Zach Moss is going to be the guy this week. I think that was kind of a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
At least type of performance from Zach Moss.
Obviously, Christian McCaffrey, you're not going to move him. He's
you consider starting Christian McCaffrey on his bye week. That's how good Christian McCaffrey is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say Nick Chubb was number 1 in the league. Christian McCaffrey, close number 2. Now, obviously, Christian McCaffrey is going to take over as the number 1 running back in the NFL. So,
yeah,
I think obviously you keep Christian McCaffrey there. McCaffrey, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to coach, but obviously you're going to put Geno Smith in over Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson obviously still under protocol, so we don't know where he's at there. I kind of like Marquise Brown in this matchup. I mean, I understand that for Ben, you don't want Marquise Brown to get, points because that goes against your defense, but we've already beat that horse to death, so.
No chance he starts Mark. There's no chance he starts Hollywood. No chance. Not against the Dallas defense. No,
I think you do. I think you do. I said it was going to be a 50-50 game. But I think that's where Dallas is gonna. I think the passing game for Arizona is gonna be hard for Dallas to keep under check. I'm just hot take, but
Yeah. All right. Well, so that was the matchups in the Fab. So this week, me and Kim are playing. Obviously, we went over that a minute. Big Time Bex playing Tim. Battle of the 0-2s. Breadaway and Big Cock Hawk Lance. Battle of the 2-0 teams. Someone's going to leave undefeated, and someone's going to leave with a big old poopy stain on their record.
Unless they tie, which I guess could technically happen, right?
I think we have a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Well, no, you're right. There could be a tie. It's very, very, very unlikely with fractional points, though. You're playing Matt.
I am playing Matt, and he, as of right now, got Kadarius Toney and Jalen Waddle both in his lineup. I mean,
is Jalen? I haven't heard any news on Jalen Waddle. Is he playing?
Let's see.
Let's look at his.
Let's take a look.
Forecast. Nothing on there. Why does it? Oh, it's right here. Not being rushed through protocol. Not really worried about the timeline. That doesn't sound very awesome. But he did not practice today. So that's a bad sign. Because he got the concussion too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Waddle and
AR.
And AR. Yeah. And I got to hand it to AR. He actually came off the field and said, "Hey guys, something's not right." And for a rookie quarterback, I think that shows discipline. He wants to get out there. He already had 2 touchdowns under his belt on the game. He said, "Hey," rather than "I want to go for more," he said, "Something's not right." So
I didn't get to watch any of that game because I was out of town, but
How was your trip?
It was good.
Good.
I heard that Minshew did all right.
Minshew went ham, dude. And honestly, another hot take maybe is AR playing a first half game and Minshew playing a second half game. I don't know.
I'm in the camp of if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. So there needs to be a clear cut. You're the dude. Until you're not. So Anthony Richardson, if he's going to be anything, if he's healthy, obviously.
I mean, we did see that last year with Bailey Zappi. Even after Mac Jones came back, they kept Bailey Zappi in until he wasn't hot anymore. So
yep.
I see what you're saying.
That's the strategy I would take as a coach. But how you feeling about your matchup against Matt this week? What do you think is going to happen here?
Deebo Samuel, I'm hoping goes ham again. Puka Nacua, obviously going ham. Najee Harris needs to do something. And I forget if it was Matt or who told me that last year, it might have been Lance, that they had Najee Harris and he just didn't perform. And
you didn't listen.
I didn't listen. I did not. So we'll see. Jerry Jeudy's got to produce, obviously, but I mean, if you look at my bench, I've got a lot of red on my bench.
Yeah, you do.
Jamal Williams, I mean, I don't think he's playing. Doesn't look good.
I think I heard he's out for sure.
Yeah. Braden Cook, obviously has not played yet this season, so I still don't know what he actually looks like. Christian Watson, I need him to come back.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's really hurt. That's really hurting me right now because I was actually counting on him in my lineup, and then Cup, we're looking at week 5 at the earliest on him coming back, so right. I'm not even going to talk about him. But I mean, my bench is bleeding.
Yeah.
But I still feel good. Like I said, Justice Hill. Been looking at him. He's questionable right now, but he's actually starting to look really good. I don't know how that looks going against the Indianapolis defense. As a Colts fan, again, it's hard to separate fantasy from wanting the Colts to be successful. But
yes, it is. I would imagine that he puts. I'm not trying to give advice here or nothing, but I would imagine that he puts Josh Reynolds in for Kadarius Toney. If
Josh Reynolds plays, if he suits up.
Yeah. If Matt has the fucking steel titanium cojones to start Kadarius Toney again, I don't agree with that. But other than that, I'm not gonna lie to you here. even though you're in front of me, I think Matt wins this matchup.
I think you're full of shit.
You've got too many. You don't have anybody really down here. Not to your fault at all.
Okay, but
unless Christian Watson plays and you can replace Christian Watson in this lineup.
Okay, but let's look at the numbers. Okay, which it's looking like he's going to have to replace Waddle.
Yeah.
And if he plays Kadarius Toney's a wild card. He's either not going to get shit or he's going to fucking go ham. I don't see him being a middle of the road. And who are they going up against?
Chicago.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe against Chicago. But, I mean, Kadarius Toney's just, he's not looked good. He's not looked confident yet this season. I mean, obviously, do what you want to do, man. I'm not sitting here mad. I'm not going to tell you how to set your lineup, but I don't see Kadarius Toney even sitting in the flex. I don't see him being worth it. So now, what does he do? Let's go down and look at his bench. Do you put...
It's kind of in the same spot that you're in for different reasons.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's bleeding, it's the same amount that I am on the bench. He's got a player on the IR. I have a player on the IR. We're not going to talk about those guys. But he's got two players that Waddle should really produce numbers.
Yeah.
And if Waddle's not playing, and if he chooses to sub out Kadarius Toney, who's, again, a wild card, I think I have the matchup here. And I'm just talking, again, strictly numbers.
Well, he could negate your Hill and his Edwards by starting both of them. And it kind of, if it's a split backfield, it's going to be whoever has the day. You don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to one star is going to have to, on either side, is going to have to break out, and whoever has that one breakout star is going to win the whole shebang.
Well,
let's hope that Puka Nacua puts up 27 points again.
Well, the reason I say I think Matt's got this is because, so it basically, to me, comes down to the stacks that are there, which he doesn't have a quote-unquote stack, but you got the Mahomes-Kelsey stack. Obviously, really good. Gonna produce. We all know this. I really like Lamar Jackson this week against Indy. I've watched the Colts. I know what their defense is. I know what we're weak against. It is running quarterbacks. It always has been. I feel like it's always going to be. I feel like Lamar Jackson has a fucking week this week. And how can you doubt Justin Jefferson, especially in the matchup with the Chargers, where both teams are going to be throwing like...
Oh, that scoreboard is going to be stacked.
And
if whatever the over-under is, take the over on that game.
And who's it going to go to in Minnesota? It will go a little bit to Jordan Addison, because Jordan Addison's getting hot. But it's going to go to Justin Jefferson.
No.
So when I
don't think you can count the backfield on that game. I mean, Cam Akers, even with Cam Akers suiting up for Minnesota, I agree with you. It's going to be a long bomb game.
So I kind of look at both your teams and I'm like, okay, the rest of it's kind of, you've got a good Puka, he's got a Michael Pittman Jr. who's been producing pretty well, that kind of thing. So I like the Lamar Jefferson this week more than I like the Mahomes Kelsey.
Hey, that's fine.
So
we'll see how it turns out.
So I'll let you talk shit now. What do you think about the me?
I can't talk shit. You're going up against Kim. Kim, your team is bleeding. I mean, I can't argue the numbers there. Your team is just in a bad shape right now, and I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack in the chat for this, but Kim, you need to read the cheat sheets, read the waiver wire cheat sheets, and study it a little bit. I feel like maybe I feel like there might be a little emotion going into her picks, instead of looking just solely at who can produce for value.
You mean you tell me there's a little bit of Philadelphia love going into her picks?
Oh, I mean, it's... I just the fact that she doesn't have Jalen Hurts just...
It would look a lot prettier with the Hurts and Devonta Smith stack. Yeah. Maybe look at making a trade. I know that you're literally the most stingy person with trading. Maybe it's time to loosen up a little bit.
She's not as bad as Tim, though. Tim, you think everybody on your roster is gold.
Oh, no.
And-
I will disagree with you wholeheartedly here. At least you can have a logical conversation with Tim. Kim is a clone of Tim without the logic. She has zero logic. In past dealings with Kim.
Every deal that I've had with Tim, or every proposal that I've had with Tim, has always been everybody on his roster is gold. Can't touch them. And everybody on your roster, no matter how good they are, man, that's the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
So
it
may be a salesman tactic. I don't know.
It's that salesman tactic.
But
I know how to get through it a little bit, but I've never been able to make a deal with him, so I guess I don't know as much as I think I do. But I see through enough.
I made one deal with him last year, and it came back and bit me in the ass.
Yeah. So, speaking of Tim, him and Big Time Bex, what are you thinking?
Let me get this pulled up on my screen real quick.
I'm thinking this is going to be a close game. I think that Big Time Bex gets the win in this matchup, and here's why. Cousins versus Chargers. We just talked about it.
Yeah,
it's going to throw all day long.
Yeah.
Chase is going to have a bad game against the Rams, I think.
Yeah.
Burrow's going to be out, let's be honest. Looking for Ridley and Jacobs to have bounce-back weeks. Jahmyr Gibbs without David Montgomery looks like he's going to get increased work. Kyle Pitts, you should fucking drop him and pick up Zach Ertz or any other tight end on the waiver wire, but I'm not telling you how to run your team. Ramondre and Mike Evans should have decent weeks.
Kansas City defense. I mean, I don't love it. I don't love it. And again, Tim, we've talked about it. You're hurting when it comes to defense.
That's Becker.
That's Becker. Oh, shit.
I actually like the defense play this week. And why? I paid a lot of attention to Justin Fields this year. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have him at quarterback. I think that Kansas City has one defensive touchdown this week.
Okay.
Justin Fields gives it to him. He's been doing that.
Is that why you tried to pawn Justin Fields off to me this week?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe, but we'll talk about that later. Tim's got the Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown stack, so A.J. Brown's been kind of not getting the targets this year so far. Tyreek, I guess I didn't really think about that. Tyreek without Jalen Waddle.
But Tyreek is still questionable. What's the status on him?
Let's look.
Was he limited today? Or
limited at Wednesday's practice.
So he might not even be starting.
Oh, Tyreek Hill starts. How involved is he? If he's really hurting, I don't know. But if Jalen Waddle's out, which I think he will be if he missed practice on Wednesday, I guess maybe the Thursday practice will be a little bit more telling. But
yeah, I mean I just looked. It's his ankle that's giving him issues. So
yeah,
I mean, who knows? Maybe he gets the targets. Maybe he's just not as productive because favoring that ankle. I don't know.
Yeah, I do like the Jordan Addison start with him starting Kirk Cousins, Cooper. I mean, Deshaun Watson. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know about that Browns offense now. Now that Chubb's gone, I don't necessarily know if I want any part of it.
Let's be completely honest, though. Amari Cooper is probably going to be one of their only weapons they can go to, which is going to suck for him because that means they're going to put him under coverage a lot more.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I don't feel as good about Cooper as I did before because, you could double cover. That's a big word. Double cover Cooper now. And who else do they have besides Elijah Moore? I mean, yeah.
Nobody.
Couple options on the bench for Becker. You could start Dotson. I don't see him. There's no way you start Boyd. There's no way you start Hunt this early. Jair burned you last week. So, I'm going to give that one to Big Time Bex. Really? Okay. Did we go over Lance?
No.
No, we did not. Okay.
Yep.
Lance and Ryan.
I think Lance walks away with this one. I really do.
I think
solely based upon, I mean,
I think this is going to be a close one, though.
I don't know. If George Pickens has another week like he did last week, I don't know, maybe, but
Pickens had basically the 170-yard play, and with the touchdown. Other than that, I think it would have been a disappointing week. And dude was wide the fuck open. Like, wide the fuck open.
Yeah.
I could have caught that and ran it in. That's how wide open he was. I think I'd have to agree with you that I'd give this one to Lance, but I would not be surprised whatsoever if Ryan pulls it out.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Ryan, he's a lexicon of football. His job allows him to listen to podcasts all day, every day about football. So I know he knows what he's doing. I just don't think that Lady Luck is going to fall on his side this week.
Yeah.
I think Lance Hawkinson, I can never say that name. Hawkinson. I think he's going to produce. He probably produce better than Kelsey. He's got Josh Allen. They're going up against Washington. That's going to be easy money for him. I don't know.
I wouldn't count on the Higgins performance this week, but I am looking for a Nico Collins repeat performance.
Yeah, and honestly, Pacheco, I don't know. I don't know if Pacheco is going to be utilized nearly as much as the wideouts.
Yeah. And then, you got Aaron on Ryan's side. Aaron Jones is banged up a little bit. Metcalf is banged up a little bit.
But Kenneth Walker III is going to shine.
Yeah,
I think Kenneth Walker III is going to have an amazing game. So again, if Pickens and Walker perform, CeeDee Lamb's probably going to have a good game.
And you're looking for a bounce back from Lawrence and Ingram.
Yeah. I don't know. Ingram has me a little worried, but we'll see how it turns out.
Okay. And then the last matchup is most subject of today's discussion, Ben
and
versus Tiffany.
I think Ben's gonna go 2-1.
Yeah,
I really do. I don't know. I have never had a lot of faith in Derrick Henry. I know he's great, but I've never had a lot of faith in him from a fantasy standpoint.
This is where we completely disagree. So that's why I was so baffled about this Tajay Spears thing. Tajay Spears started off week 1 getting a lot of work, and Derrick Henry looked like he was going down. But then when you see these numbers, his attempts are going back up. So this dude, I've had him on multiple fantasy teams. The colder it gets, the better he gets. I don't know what the correlation is, but when it comes down to these winter months, this man, the ice in his veins, and he gets better.
But what was his yards per carry?
3.2.
It's not a lot for a running back.
Right, but that's what Derrick Henry is. He's a bruiser. You give him 25 carries, he gets you 80 yards and a touchdown and 25 points. That's what you're looking for out of Derrick Henry.
I don't know.
I'm still firmly on the Derrick Henry train. I can't trade for him. I don't have any way to do so. I believe Tiffany is with me though. So
I think she's onto something though with Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
I think Mixon's going to get a lot of work this week. I think Tyler Lockett. I think between him and Kenneth Walker III, I still take Kenneth Walker III. So I don't see Tyler Lockett getting a lot of work.
I'm wondering about the Michael Thomas start. What the fuck she's doing? I guess maybe if Ayuk's hurt, then that's her reasoning behind that. We'll talk about that tonight. See what she's thinking. Stephon Diggs is, he is who he is. He's good.
Yeah, I honestly, I think someone just needs to sit him down and just say, look, if the target is not presenting itself, we're not going to force it. I think he's demanding the ball a little bit too much rather than demanding the ball when it needs to be thrown his way.
Yeah.
I love Stephon Diggs. I think he's a great player, but I think he just needs to take a step back and see what's better for the team versus what's better for him.
Well, that's diva receiver for you. So.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I don't know why we didn't just start off with it. Ben's gonna win. He has the Dallas defense.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, like how is anybody gonna beat Ben when he has the Dallas defense?
Going up against Arizona?
Like when do they have a bye week?
I think week 7.
Okay, whoever plays Ben week 7, it might win because he's without his precious 11th round defense. But other than that, we're all fucked, and we should just give him the money and the trophy right now, right?
You shut your whore mouth.
But I mean, realistic here, I do think he wins.
I think he wins.
He's got the Keenan Allen to trump Herbert or production, hand in hand. One gets points, the other one does. Mandrews, Kyron Williams. We'll see how Ford does.
I still think that he puts Geno Smith in over Anthony Richardson.
Oh yeah. I mean,
obviously he hasn't set his lineup yet, or if he has, he's throwing everybody for a loop because he thinks the Dallas defense is just going to carry his team. But
yeah, so all right, you got anything else on your list there?
I do, and it's something that is just for everybody to kind of ponder with the whole Fab situation.
Yeah.
I think next year we drop it to 50.
Oh, you mean like your cap?
Your cap. I think you drop it to 50.
How are you going to spend $30 on Downs if we drop it to 50 though?
I'll just come over to your house and steal yours.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm thinking we pay $50 for a buy-in. So why not give $50 in Fab? Because then, realistically speaking, everybody should look at it as their Fab is their buy-in. Is this player worth my buy-in? Is this player worth the money that I'm spending on them to carry me through the season to win? I think it just puts a tangible on everything versus $100 in Fab is $100 in Monopoly money versus $50 in Fab on a $50 buy-in has a little bit more of a tangible value.
You can at least correlate it to what you paid already to buy into.
Yeah,
I get it. Okay.
And then I think you actually start seeing more realistic bids. I think it makes the waiver wire a lot more competitive, and that you don't see people throw up a $50 bid when you only have $50 in Fab on a player that you don't feel 100% confident in.
Yeah. No, I mean.
So just something to ponder. We can always bring it up to a vote at the end of the season or the start of the next season, but that's my take on it. Also, if everybody would be open to it, maybe trying to do like a keeper 1 league.
Yeah. I think
I don't think we're ready for a keeper 2, but I think maybe a keeper 1 league.
I think I've brought this up before and I got shot down in flames, so we'll table it again at the beginning of next season.
I'm not talking about Dynasty. I'm not talking about Dynasty.
Oh, I would love to just fucking go all in.
No, we're not talking about Dynasty here. No,
but
there's too much up in the air with retirements and players going out and career enders and stuff like that. But I do think that a keeper 1, you get to keep 1 player on your roster for the next year. I do think there might be something there.
I think we would have to start it so you don't get, a player from this year's roster to keep. It would start next year. So you made do the draft and your keeper from that year, since we didn't technically discuss it from the get-go. You know what I mean? But
that's fine.
I'm completely fine with that.
I mean, I also think that that's part of the wheeling and dealing process.
Right.
Getting the player that you want for next year.
Well, my opinions on it, if there's keepers, there's got to be some rules to the keepers. So, like you got Cooper Kupp, right?
Yeah.
So, if you traded me Cooper Kupp, I couldn't keep Cooper Kupp because I did not draft Cooper Kupp.
See, I don't think
that's the tangibles we'll have to just iron out.
And just on that topic, and then we can go on to something else. I think that if you are big enough to trade away for a key player for next year, you should be able to keep that player.
Fair enough.
Because who's to say you don't give up this year's victory for next year's player?
Well, then you're just talking like a dynasty type situation where you're tanking this year to be better for next year.
No.
But the only reason I bring that up is Ben's league that he runs has a keeper situation like that. So, like, for example, in Ben's league, I have Quentin Johnston. I have to hold him the entire year on my bench. I cannot drop him, and I cannot trade him if I want to keep him next year for a 2-round penalty of where I drafted him. So if I got him in the 14th round, I can keep him next year for a 12th. So I'm not saying we go all out with all of those rules, but I feel
that's
like
a lot of rules for my smooth brain.
But I feel like there should be at least somewhat of a little bit of a bubble that we keep it in, other than just Wild West of whoever you ended with. But speaking of that, I do want to talk about one other thing because of Ben's league and the situation that's going on over there.
Okay.
Because it kind of correlates to ours a little bit. Not necessarily anything that's happening right now, but things that have happened in the past. So we're talking all about the trade block and everything this year. And, I know there's been some trades talk. You just talked about Tim doesn't, do this or whatever. So my thoughts, I'll just explain it. What happened in Ben's league is this dipshit, I sent him a trade offer. Apparently he thought it was not even remotely close, insulting. I asked Tiffany and Ben after the fact, and apparently it wasn't insulting in the slightest, but that's fine. Everybody values players differently. That's all cool. That's fine. No big deal. But then what happens is this dude proceeds to berate me in the Facebook chat and to everyone else, calling me a bonehead. Like,
no, that's
I'm
off
just
limits.
So what I hate is when people do shit like that. Or when you send him a trade offer, and what he did to me, I sent him that trade offer. He apparently found it insulting, and then he wanted my 3 best players for his 1 worst player. That's some petty bullshit. If you get a trade and you don't like that trade, let's be big boys and big girls and tell each other, hey, John, I don't. Or like example, the Mahomes Fields thing that we tried last week.
What was it? You wanted Mahomes and Kelsey.
Yeah.
For Fields, Warren, and 2 other guys. I forget.
Fields, Moore, and 2 other guys. I don't remember who the other 2 pieces were. But John sat down like a big boy and said, here's why I don't like this. And I'm perfectly fine with it. I completely understand. I'm not gonna. If he really doesn't want to get rid of the Mahomes Kelsey stack, and I don't fucking blame him. So I'm not gonna bother him about it anymore. I'm not gonna be butthurt that he won't trade him to me. If he, for Josh,
I came to you personally. I didn't text it in the group. I texted you direct, which I feel like all trade offers should be handled that way.
Right, but I've got. Over the course of the years, I've sent trade offers to people, and I've just been solely rejected. Trade offer after trade offer, and I've either been left on red or just rejected with no context whatsoever. So that leaves me in a little bit of a spot. It's like, okay, well, I try a little bit harder, and then rejected. If you have a player that's just like an untouchable, like Bredeweg said that everybody on his team's available except for Bijan. Like, Bijan's his untouchable. I don't fucking blame him for that either. I wouldn't trade Bijan either. But, like, communication, people. There's people, I don't know about necessarily this year in our league, but in the past there's been people who just don't communicate why you're rejecting this trade. I understand we all work and we all whatever, but take fucking 30 seconds and type out. Yahoo has a little chat box at the bottom where you can either counteroffer, which is what I would prefer, or, hey, I don't like this trade because this. Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Or take the time, reject the trade straight out, and then reach out to that person on a 1-to-1 basis, and you guys can talk it out.
Right.
Like grown-ups. And not cry about it or call somebody a bonehead, even though technically you are.
True, but this guy doesn't know me personally. So.
Yeah, well.
But that's my rant for today. That happened yesterday. I'm still pissed about it. So.
Do you need a hug?
Maybe.
Okay.
I need you to just right here. Just pet me. Heavy petting right here under the table. But anyway, guys, unless you got anything else, that's all I got.
I don't. It's been fun. I'd like to do it again.
Perfect. We will. If
I think you need to get Bredeweg down here next week.
That's what I was gonna say. Anybody that wants to come on, I kind of try to rotate people in and out, so not have the same person other than myself multiple weeks in a row. We kind of switch it up. So Bread Away, if you're down. We do it on Wednesdays before Thursday night football and after waivers. I don't know what his schedule is, but I know he gets home at like 2 o'clock. Seems like. So.
I get notifications on my phone at like 2:45 that Bread Truck 87 is on Xbox. So.
Gamer tag leaked. But anyway, appreciate you coming over and entertaining me in this little baby show I got. So.
Hey man, I think maybe 1 week we should do like a 3-way.
Oh. Kinky.
I mean, get the Miranda.
We'll
get
here.
the Miranda Drive boys down here.
We'll be here for 3 hours.
Get the Miranda Drive boys down here and just fucking go all out.
Yeah. Oh, we can do that.
Fantasy football gone wild.
Oh god, they should have to pay for that though.
Yeah, it's
pay per view.
Yeah, it's a $19.99
VHS special.
in NC-17.
Yeah. All right, guys. With that, I'm gonna end it here. Everybody, I hope you have bad luck this week, except for myself
and me,
Tiffany, and since he's sitting right next to me, John.
Yeah. You can talk trash about me after I leave.
Okay, perfect. That's all I got. So thank you guys for watching / listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
See you guys.